Hey guys, Stephen Peterson here, Colonial Chapter Chief, and I'm here with.
My name is Zack Brandon. I'm the Amangamek-Wipit Lodge Vice Chief for Operations.
So Zack, what's it like being the Vice Chief of Operations in Amangamek-Wipit Lodge?
In my role as Vice Chief of Operations, I'm working with a lot of people. Primarily, I work with the area chiefs. I work with the area chiefs and I work with the lodge chief. So if something needs to happen at a lodge level that needs to be delegated down to the chapters, what's typically going to happen is the lodge chief is going to ask me, say, hey, this information needs to get out, or these things need to happen, these operations need to occur, and I'll work with the area chiefs to make that happen. In addition, we have like events, we have fellowships, NOACs, stuff like that, and Goshen bus loading, Conclave. So all those things, I don't directly run those things. We have they're delegated to the areas, right? But at a top level, I sort of oversee those things. I'm not running the event; that's on the areas, and they've done a fantastic job with that. But if they need any resources from the lodge, any help running their event, or if they just have any questions, and come to operations, and if we don't know the answer, take it up with the chief. We'll find an answer.
So Zack, you're a really busy guy. You're doing all those things for the lodge and for Will, and you've been doing an amazing job, and we appreciate it. But since COVID-19's out and NCAC shut everything down, and so has the lodge, what have you been doing during this little break of ours?
Yeah. So personally, my school has we've gone online. Right now we're on spring break, but we've gone online. So I'm doing online from home, my room. um,
Mhm.
it's a lot of being inside. I'm still working on scouting things. With this whole COVID-19 thing, there's been a lot of phone calls, a lot of late phone calls about what's going to happen. So a lot of logistical things that are happening with that. But yeah, other than that, I'm staying inside a lot. I think the only time I've been out in the past couple of days is I went to the store yesterday. But
To stock
other
up?
than that, no, actually, I was. My dad wanted some ice cream, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll go get it." So yeah. But other than that, I'm at home working,
Yeah.
and we can, scouting goes on. I think that's one of the most important things. Scouting goes on. This is a very unfortunate, world circumstance, world event, and everybody's trying to deal with it the best way they can, and we're trying to do the same thing, but scouting goes on.
So I mean, you have all these things that, and with all these programs on pause, but yet we're still trying to go on. You might have some scouts who are trying to get in because this is right at the peak of our induction season. So like, what would you say to recommend to those youth who just got elected and are trying to get involved, are new airmen, and or just scouts who haven't even been involved in the organization? What would you have to say to them? What advice would you give?
To those new scouts, new airmen, I would say get involved as quickly as you can. I know for me personally, I was on a 6 month or a year sort of hiatus. I was sort of in limbo. I kind of wasn't really doing anything with the Order of the Air. I was still involved in scouting, but I sort of came to a chapter meeting every once in a while. But really, there's a lot of opportunities in this organization, more than I could even imagine, and more than I can imagine now. And going to the first event, for me, it was Conclave in 2017. I didn't really know what it was. Some people from my chapter were going. They asked me if I wanted to ride. I said, "To where? What do you mean?" and they're like, "Just go to this link, click this button, pay this money, and be at the Walmart parking lot at 7:30, and we'll drive you there." And I'm like, "Okay, let's go." so so that's what happened. But I think I believe that if I had not gone to that event, I would not be involved in those organizations right now that they can. So that's what I would recommend to the average airman. there is a life outside of chapter meetings. I think that's one thing that I am trying to, or that I came to understand after a long time. Chapter meetings are sort of like the business of the Order of the Arrow, sort of like troop meetings. Because if you went to a troop, if all you did in scouting was go to troop meetings, I can sort of see the, maybe it's not as interesting, but if you what you have in Boy Scouts, and I'll equate this to the Order of the Arrow, you have high adventure bases, right? You have national jamborees, you have campouts, you have hikes, you have like camporees, you have all these sorts of things, and the troop meeting is what has to happen to make all those happen, right? That builds the unit. It's the same thing with the chapter meeting. The chapter meeting is sort of just the chapter coming together, and I know a lot of airmen personally that have come, and they've gone to a couple chapter meetings, and then they sort of, oh, this is it, this is all the Order of the Arrow is. I don't know about this. So definitely, do not judge a book by its cover. There are so many opportunities in this organization. There's the National Order of the Arrow Conference, NOAC. There's fellowships, conclaves. There's so many. I just can't even explain how many opportunities there are and how fun it is.
What did you experience at that conclave that made, what made that click for you, that this was something that you want to be a part of?
I think it was just like, I didn't know what I was expecting, first of all. I didn't know the scale that the organization was on. Because what I had seen prior to that was chapter meetings. I'd seen, 20, 30 people in a business, chapter meeting. And they were fun. We had activities and everything, and it was great. And I enjoyed it, which is why I went to the conclave in the first place. But the conclave really showed me that there are there's really fun activities to do with really fun people outside of those meetings. And not that meetings are bad, they're really good. And I've seen a lot of amazing chapter meetings, but just a lot of things that are outside of that. And I think specifically for the conclave, there's a lot of training. And I know that the average airman or the average scout or the average person is like, oh, school training, right? But it's more than that. They're interesting, and they're taught by a lot of not professional scouters, but a lot of people that have a lot of experience in the program, national officers. And it's really cool to see all that. There's also like games. There's games, there's food, there's a lot of food. We're all about the food. Fellowship. That's another thing. The people that I met at Conclave 2017 are probably some of the closest people that I am in the Order of the Arrow now. The people that you meet will it's crazy. I just don't know how to explain it. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of overlap between life and Order of the Arrow, in my experience. So that is what kept me in.
When did you first join the Order of the Arrow?
I went through the spring ordeal in 2015 spring. Yeah.
Well, what's like one memory that you have from that ordeal, something that happened, interesting story?
So something funny. We were painting, or I at one point in the ordeal, I was painting. I was painting with latex paint, which, for those of you that have ever painted with latex paint, it doesn't come out of anything that it gets in, including scout pants and including your finger. So I didn't know that, and I got it a lot on my scout pants. I still have those scout pants. I think they're in my closet over there. But they're just covered in paint. And I didn't have any other scout pants at the time. I was a younger airman or younger scout, and I just had the one. So I wore those for a while with the paint.
Awesome. So, we heard about your ordeal, heard about Conclave. You talked a little bit about, fellowship, but not necessarily a specific fellowship. But so what so far has been your favorite event in the Order of the Arrow? And doesn't have to be a lodge event, just any event that you've attended you've been to a NOAC.
Yeah.
That's free game.
Yeah. I really liked NOAC. I gotta say, NOAC 2018 was, it's like my second activation of it. Like the Conclave 2017 got me like, well, okay. When I went to Conclave in 2017, I was already a chapter officer. I believe I was the chapter vice chief for inductions. So I was sort of already in the program. But after that, I really got hooked on it. And then I went to NOAC, and I was like, wow, we are in this, right? And for those of you that don't know what NOAC is, it's several thousand airmen from across the country. We met at University of Indiana. Is that right? I think that's right. University of Indiana. Last year in August. It's like a jamboree. It's the second largest BSA event. Don't quote me on that. I believe. Gathering of scouts. But it's put on by the Order of the Air, and it is amazing. I have so many memories.
Awesome. So Zach, you talked about how unique of an experience that NOAC was compared to all these other programs, but more overarching though, what makes the Order of the Air unique compared to other youth programs today?
Yeah. The one thing that I think most people that are involved with the program are going to say, and what I would say, is leadership. It's all about brotherhood, leadership, and service. And those all stick out to me. Those three: brotherhood, leadership, and service. But the leadership really sticks out to me. Where else are you going to find a program where a youth under 21 can lead thousands of people and deal with budgets? It's really unique. And it's a safe place to mess up. We have adult advisors that are with us. Every youth position has adult advisors. So you have somebody to go to, and you have your youth that you're working with. It's youth run, youth led, right? The youth, we have the final decision in most of what goes on in our organization. And that is also really, really unique. I don't think a lot of programs have that. I don't think a lot of programs have the and this is outside of the Boy Scouts of America, have the leadership structure we have. It resembles so closely just in daily work life, office life, right? Corporate organization. The chapters, the lodges, the regions, the sections, those are, they mimic, like, in an organization, what are you going to have? Like branches, like teams of people, right? It's all about that. And it's just getting you ready for like the real world. And it's really, 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 really unique. I like it. I haven't found anything like it.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to come talk to me.
Yeah.
I hope you have a nice day. All right.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, Stefan.